Hello foodie friends, we're in the third of our series of what to get the person in your life that loves to cook. Now, these cookbook suggestions that I'm going to give you are really exciting because this is going to be for your adventurous cook. So that person that does not mind a little bit of extra work in the kitchen, possibly having to source some ingredients and track down some things that they don't normally have in their kitchen, and some food combinations that maybe they haven't seen before. So our runners up are the Wizard's Dessert Cookbook, but also the Wizard's Cookbook that has savory dishes and desserts in it. I am going to go ahead and put these cookbooks in the description box below so that you can go ahead and find them on Amazon if that's what you would like to do. These are such fun cookbooks. I love the pictures. I love her just beautiful descriptions of how to make this food. Some of it she has like elixirs and it's very magical, very enchanting. Some of them are almost written like fairy tales, or maybe you're in a fairy tale and you're making this food in a magic forest. It's just an absolute fun trip no matter which recipe that you choose out of these books. Now, we have used these cookbooks several times on this channel, especially for our Halloween episodes, and everything I've made out of these are so tasty and good. I absolutely would love this as an adventurous cook because it literally takes you on a literary adventure. So she is writing recipes from lots of adventurous books like Chronicles of Narnia all the way to Wizard of Oz and Harry Potter. And so that's really fun. But you're also going to see some food combinations and decorations of foods that you wouldn't normally do in the kitchen. So you're going to have to stretch your skills a little bit. And you may, in some of them, need to actually source some of your ingredients, perhaps online or some other specialty shop. But for our absolute winner, now this was actually the cookbook that my husband picked to be the winner for this episode, and it is the Sioux Chef's Indigenous Kitchen. When we first did the Indigenous tacos out of this one, and it blew us away for how good it really was. The reason I'm picking this for being an adventurous chef gift is because, as with these, you will have to source some ingredients, but you're probably gonna have to source a lot more in this cookbook than you would these. So you will be having to do some specialty shops. You'll have to be, looking around online to try to get some of these ingredients, but it doesn't actually mean that they're going to be any more expensive than some other recipes you would normally do. The food is really, really tasty. We've liked everything we've made out of this so far, and I really like the fact that you may have to go into your backyard if you're lucky enough to live in an area where you kind of can expand a little bit and maybe walk a little into a forest and forage, because you're gonna have to find some things. The food and food combinations in here, and even the way the food is prepared, is things that I have never seen before in another cookbook or anything that I've ever come across with, actually, even in a restaurant. So I was pleasantly surprised when I got this cookbook because it really is very unique. So we're gonna go ahead. I will actually show you some things out of these cookbooks, and we're gonna go ahead and make something out of this one. I'm really excited about it because It looks really good and it uses some things I've never used before. So let's go ahead and get started. I time traveled a little bit. So this is actually the day before I'm actually filming, and I'm at my parents' house and they have cedar trees, which you can see behind me. So I'm gonna go over there and take a branch. Now, last night I went ahead and got my beans ready and soaked in some water. There's nothing special about this step. You just soak them as you normally would. I did overnight, but you just soak them as you normally would to quicken the cooking method. But I did want to show you this little pile. You may have seen these behind me in the intro and wondered, why do I have so many little bottles of seasonings? We are not going to use all of these in this dish, but I needed one in particular. Let's see where it is. Here it is. I needed one in particular, smoked sea salt. Now, he does have a recipe in there on how to smoke your own salt, but I did not have time for that, and we kind of had some rainy weather, so that precluded it a little bit for me. But I did not know where I was going to find this. Obviously, it's on Amazon, but I was already out and about in some of the stores, you know, doing a little bit of shopping, and I was really hoping to just go ahead and find it without doing the whole Amazon order. And I did. I found it at Tuesday morning in this gift tin. It was originally $24.99. Now, I actually went ahead and removed the clearance sticker, but it was $9.97. So I got all of these little things for $10 when I really just needed this. But the rest of the items looked really good, and I will be using these for other dishes, so it's not a total loss. I was actually happy to get all of those. I also found this lemon salt that looked really, really good. I love citrus flavor. It's my favorite, and I cannot wait to try that. So if you do have a Tuesday morning in your area, you know, make sure you check them out periodically because they have some really cool food items. Now, while the beans are cooking, I'm going to go ahead and show you a few little things that I think make these cookbooks really special and the perfect gift. First, we have the Wizard's Cookbook, which is the first one by this author that I picked up. You can see here we immediately have a food from Lord of the Rings. Looks really good. I love her pictures. I love her descriptions of everything. We have breakfast from The Wizard of Oz. We even have recipes inspired by the TV show Bewitched, which I think is really cute. And here we have some different things that will stretch your culinary skills in the kitchen by making you decorate a little bit differently than you normally would. This particular thing is from the book series Goosebumps. As for her second cookbook, I immediately grabbed this as soon as it came out because I loved the first one so much. We have something from Dungeons and Dragons. We've got the Vampire Diaries, Alice in Wonderland. And here we have Harry Potter. You can make your own cookies. Here's something from Shrek, which if you've seen the movie, you will know what this picture is referring to. This is perfect for Halloween, but it's also something that I would actually use, and I have used throughout the year. And now for our winner. You've already seen some of it that I've shown you, but I absolutely love the layout of this cookbook. I think it would make a beautiful gift with its matte finish pages and the beautiful photography. You have all kinds of interesting recipes that I think someone adventurous in the kitchen would love to try their hand at. You also have a lot of information about the indigenous peoples of America, as he talks a lot about growing up on a reservation and what that meant for him and his family. And he also includes a lot of traditions and what the food specifically meant to his people. I really like the fact that he's included some more sweet things in here, like little desserts. And you also have teas and drinks, which I think is so cool. So like that cedar branch. So I didn't actually need the entire cedar branch for the beans, but I may be able to use it to make this tea. Now, while we wait for the beans to come to a boil, we're gonna go ahead and head outside and get our sage and our mint. Because it's getting colder, I went ahead and pulled in my onions and my lettuce and kale into the greenhouse. You'll see the mint I planted outside decided to crawl underneath the wall of the greenhouse and try to take over. I cut it back periodically, but in the winter I kind of just let it crawl in here and take over for a little bit till spring, just because it's so cold outside and I don't have the heart to kick it out there in the cold weather. Plus, I absolutely love the fact that all through the fall and winter, I still have access to some beautiful mint for my teas and potpourris. So he recommends serving this with roast meat or fish, but I really liked this egg idea. So let's go ahead and poach some eggs and then we are ready to try this. So I just tried the whirlpool method to make these poached eggs and it was sort of successful, but I'm not the most coordinated person in the world, so yeah, I need to work at it a little bit, I think. There he is. Like I said, it sort of worked, but I still do have some little bit of egg coming off, but it's okay. It's still gonna taste like an egg, so it should still be good. We're gonna try this one more time with our second egg, and this time, hi Mitch. Yes. We have a helper that's a little more coordinated than me. So he's gonna go ahead and get this into a nice whirlpool. Then we're gonna drop our egg in and see what happens. Maybe. I don't know if we did any better, but it's together. Okay, we finally made our eggs without too many disasters. They do look good though.
It does look very good.
Yeah, so the whirlpool method actually does work if you're coordinated. So let's go ahead and dig in. I'm excited. It smells. If I could just somehow put the smell through this video so you can smell how good this is.
It does smell really good.
Mmm.
Wow.
You know what? This really is breakfast in a bowl.
This is like my new favorite breakfast.
Yeah, because you've got the maple syrup, which is reminiscent of like the pancakes and stuff like that. But then with the egg, and then I don't know how to describe it. It's just so good and unusual.
It's unusual, but it's not. Like, I don't think it's like an acquired taste in any way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine anybody not liking this.
I know,
like,
I can't either. It's so comforting and savory and just good, and all the flavors work together. The cedar is really unusual.
Oh, yeah. Like, everything about it is just like...
But it's not overpowering. Like, you might think, like with the way cedar smells...
Yeah.
You know, you might think, oh my gosh, that's going to overpower the beans. No, it just imparts it.
I didn't even know you had cedar in it until you said that. After you've taken a bite and you're not eating it for a little bit, your mouth still has that kind of clean feeling. Like it doesn't feel... Does that make sense?
Yeah, I noticed that too. And I did actually, because I had to salt the beans before I added it to everything else. And so I did actually taste test the beans. And you could tell there was a definite like cedar taste to it. And it does kind of give you that like clean aftertaste with the beans. And the sage isn't overpowering. The mint is not overpowering. Like, I don't know how it all came together as good as it did, but it just works.
This is very good.
Yeah, so oh my gosh, I so hope you try this. Even if you don't buy the cookbook, at least try this dish.
Yeah.
Just so you can get a really good idea for breakfast, like something different that you might want to try. Especially if you've got a cedar tree in your backyard. Go ahead and start making good use of it because you are going to love this.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually even going to make a second batch after we wrap up filming because I've got enough ingredients to do that. So, I mean, that's how much we like it. We're going to be eating this again tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? But as far as the cookbook, oh my gosh, hands down, one of the best recent cookbooks, like, you know, because non-vintage, but one of the best recent cookbooks that we have bought and reviewed on this channel. Everything's been really good. You saw the layout and how quality it is to give as a gift. I think someone would really like this, especially, you know, how nice and just organic and beautiful it looks on the inside. So many tasty dishes that you're going to want to go out and immediately do. So I really hope you've got someone who's really adventurous in the kitchen that wants to do something like totally different that maybe they haven't tried before. So that would be really cool. Now, as for next week, we've got one more gift giving suggestion that we're going to do. And that is going to be, of course, for the vintage chef in your life. So, I mean, that's what this channel is mostly about. We've got suggestions like crazy for someone that you know that absolutely loves vintage food and vintage cookbooks. So that's what we're going to be recommending next week. And I can't wait for that one because I'm going to have to look through it and literally scale it down to like a few suggestions because we have pulled out some really good vintage cookbooks in the 3 years we've been doing this channel. So stay tuned for that one. That one's going to be a lot of fun. We will be cooking something out of the winter, and really hope you like this episode. Please try this for breakfast. It's going to be your new favorite breakfast, I think. And go ahead and check this cookbook out for the adventurous chef in your life, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
And if you like historical cooking and unusual cookbooks, here's 2 more videos you might enjoy. And make sure to like and subscribe for more foodie adventures.